n8n just leveled up their game with 2 new, very interesting updates that we're going to talk about today, and we're going to go over them and see what they mean and how do we set everything up. So if you are not familiar with, this is n8n. It's a platform where you can do automations and workflows using AI and AI agents, and basically automate anything in your business with a no-code platform. And basically here is the homepage. You can look around and see all the information. And once you want to start, you can go on Get Started. In the description below, you will have a link to n8n if you want to register and you haven't yet, and you will get 2 weeks of free access to the full system with everything that's relevant inside. And once you sign in, then after you sign in, you basically come into a page that looks like this, and we will see what we need to do from here. But first, about the announcements. So one announcement is about the n8n instance, or basically your n8n account that can now basically connect to MCP, to a Model Contacts Protocol, and we will see what that means and how does that work. And the second announcement that we've been waiting for a very long time is n8n releasing their version 2.0. Until now, since July 2023, as you can see here, we were on 1.0 version, and now we are moving into 2.0. So we will talk about what this means, how does it affect us, and what we could expect from this whole procedure. And we'll take it from there. So basically, we'll start off with this, the new MCP ready instance, and how do we set this up and what do we need to do? So the first step is that once we register and we go in, we will see this page. If you don't know, you can go here to open up your instance from here and basically go and build your workflows and everything. And you can go here to manage, and here in manage, we have different things that we can manage. The most important thing is the n8n version. So for what we're talking today, you have to be on an update to the latest version, and at least be on 1.1 to 1.0 in order to see these changes that we're talking about. Once you click here and you update to the latest version, you go down here, you do save changes, and then you will see here the online will be on sort of a yellow orangey kind of thing. You wait a few moments and then it updates the system, and then you wait until you see again a green dot, just like here. And then once you see that, you're basically all set and you did the update. And then you can go back to your dashboard and click on Open Instance and go into your account. Now, once you go into the account, in order for you to access basically this whole everything that we're talking today and the MCP that we're going to see right now, you go down here under your name in 3 dots and you click on Settings. And once you go into Settings, you will see here that there is this new thing called MCP Access. So you click on MCP Access, you will probably see this just like I see right here. And the first thing that you need to do is you need to click on Enable. So we're enabling the MCP, and we click on it, and then we see this page opening up. Here we have 2 ways to connect, just like you see that it says here, through an OAuth or access token. OAuth is the easier way. And you can also go into access tokens, and you can click here on this and see the server URL that you need and the full MCP JSON file that you need to add in. If you recall and remember from the past, we did the same in a previous old video when we spoke about Claude and how to add MCP servers into Claude. So it's kind of similar, but today the whole process is much easier and simplified with the OAuth. So basically what we're going to do today, and probably what you're going to do in most of the cases, is use the OAuth. And as you can see at the moment, once I enabled it, I see this, but I don't have anything here connected. I don't have any available workflows. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show 2 different MCP clients that we can use for this, but of course you can use others as well. You can use Claude, ChatGPT, and a lot of other tools that are available. Today we're going to look at Claude and we're going to look at Lovable and see what we can do with both of those options. So first of all, we're going to go into Claude. And once we go into Claude, in order for us to activate this, we go down here again to our name, we go to Settings, and after we go to Settings, we go into Connectors. And if we go into Connectors, we can click on Browse Connectors. Under that, of course, before we click on that, we can see everything that we have at the moment, and we can click on Browse Connectors, and you will see that all the time there are connectors added. If you saw my previous video about this, then you will see how many new connectors, MCP connectors we have here. It's growing all the time from everywhere. And of course, we have the desktop extensions, and in order for us to use these, then we need to go into the desktop. At the moment, I am on the browser, on the web. So if we go into the web, you can see that there's many different options here and many different MCPs, and we're looking right now on the n8n one. So we're going to click on n8n. And here we can see exactly what this MCP is and how does it work. And we can see what tools we have. And as you can see, we have 3 tools: search workflows, get workflow details, and execute workflows. I assume that later on, probably there will be additional tools added here as they develop the connection and the server and they see that everything is working fine. But this is what we have at the moment. And all we need to do in order to connect our MCP with Claude is to click here on connect. And once we click on connect, we will have this page open up and we have all the instructions. All we have to do is we need to paste here the server URL from n8n. So if we go back to n8n, and you remember we have here our server URL, then I just click on it and copy the server URL. I come into my Claude, I paste it in, I click continue, and then it will check and grant access to the connection. And basically n8n is asking for approval. We can deny, of course, if we want, but in this case, we're going to allow. And once we click on allow, we get a success, and then we are back. Now, if we go right now into our Claude and we click here on this, then we can see here that our n8n is connected. We can see that the tools are connected and everything is working. So we did the first step and we connected our MCP access. If we refresh here under connected OAuth clients, then now we will see the name Claude, the name, and when it was connected. And of course, if we want to cancel it, we can come here and do revoke access. Also in Claude, if we go to settings and we go back to connectors, then we can go here and we can disconnect from n8n or remove it completely. So we have, of course, full control to do whatever we want. And at the moment, what we're going to do after we connected our client, our MCP client, then the next thing that we need is basically to add a workflow. So we can talk with that workflow or do all kinds of stuff like we will try to do now. So the way for us to do that is that we go and go back here to our overview. And of course, here we can see all of our workflows. And in order for us to activate or to add any workflow into the MCP access, we need to do 3 things. First of all, we need the workflow to be active. The second thing is that we need to go here to the 3 dots, click on them and do enable MCP access. This is the new button, new feature that they added. And once we click on that, you will see right here, we have this icon available in MCP, and that means that it is connected. If we go back here and we refresh here, then we will see this workflow where it's at, which project, the workflow name, and a description, which we will talk in a moment. And of course, from here, I can also remove it from the MCP access, or if I'm in here, I can also from here remove MCP access. And that way we can add any active workflow. At the moment, we're just going to use one just to demonstrate, but you can connect several workflows to this client in Claude, and that could give you a lot of things that you can do right away in Claude and basically use your n8n workflows directly within Claude. So in this case, we're going to use this one. Another thing that we need to do in our workflow is you're going to see that we have here a new button that says edit workflow description. We click on it. I already added my description, but basically what you do is you just add a description that will help the MCP and the LLM to understand what this workflow is and what it does. And this is very crucial for the MCP, especially if you add more than one workflow, because once you want to query it in any way and ask for something, then if it has many different workflows, it needs to have some kind of description to understand which workflow you're talking about, which workflow you want it to use. So once we add the description, we click save, and then we have the description here, and we can also see the description here, which helps the MCP to understand. And once we did all that, then basically we are connected and we have the option to start talking with our workflow. So in this case, you can see that what I did is I just sent it a very, very simple message, check my workflow on n8n and try to trigger it and send the output here. Okay. So basically what it does is it goes and tries to understand what it needs to do. Then after it understands, then it goes and uses the tool search workflows. If you remember, we said we have 3 tools here. If we'll go back, n8n, we have the search workflows, get workflows, and execute. So it first goes to search what workflows are relevant, and then it finds the right workflow. In my case, there's only one. It finds it, then it uses the other tool, get workflow, in order to get all the information about this workflow and all the details about it. And once it found everything, then it triggers the execute workflow and basically executes the whole workflow to work. And after that, we get our output from the workflow, and we can see everything about the workflow. And what I asked, this is basically the output. If we go back to the workflow itself, this is just a simple workflow that I use once a month. It's active for me. And basically what it does, it goes and gets all my channel statistics on my YouTube channel, AI Voices, and gives me basically sends a report at the end with insights of an AI agent, and it's sent to my email. And so right now, because of this connection, I can basically trigger this workflow directly from in Claude with just a simple prompt like this. Now, if I had more than one workflow, then maybe I would give it context, or I would give it the name of the workflow in order for it to know which workflow I am talking about. But in this case, I only have one, so it's not a big problem. And then I get the whole output here, and I can continue talking with it here. Now, this is amazing. This could open up a lot of different opportunities. If you think about it, once you have many different workflows in here, then you can do a lot of things. If it's workflows that are managing your business or your CRM or your ERP, and you need to do some stuff, then instead of coming in here and checking what's going on, you can basically initialize everything and use everything and do everything within Claude. And then from here, of course, we can ask it to generate a specific workflow dashboard, or do any other information. So really, there's a lot of information and a lot of things that we can do here. The possibilities are basically endless. And this is a major update. Another place that we can use this is in Lovable. And basically, this is Lovable. You can use Lovable to generate any kinds of applications, systems, web apps, really anything. And basically, the AI that's connected here will take your prompt, will take your instructions, and build the whole thing and write the whole code. So that's in general how it works. And basically, in order for us to connect from Lovable into our MCP access, we are going to do exactly the same thing like we did with Claude, just with Lovable. So what we do in Lovable is we go here, and we have here a small plus sign. We click on it. We go to integrations, and you can see that I'm already connected to my n8n here, but we're going to go to manage integrations. So here you can see under your MCP servers, you can see that we have n8n. We click on setup, and then when we get to the setup, we click on connect. And again, what do we do here? We just add the same MCP server URL from the MCP access. We copy this, we go into Lovable, we put in our server URL, and we say add server. We will get the same message that we want to give access to Lovable, and we should either deny or allow. In this case, of course, we're going to allow. And once we do that, we get a message connected successfully, and now the system is connected and set up. If we go here, you can see already that we are connected, and I can disconnect from here. I can see the tools, the same exact tools like we did before. And then I can come in here, and I can basically talk and start using this system for anything that I want. So in this case, I can tell it something simple like check my n8n workflow and build me, and let's do this, execute the workflow, get the output, and build me a nice visual, amazing looking dashboard. Okay, so I'm basically just giving it a very simple prompt, not something that's very complicated, not something that I thought too much of. And I will, of course, execute. Once we execute, then we can see here, if you don't know, again, Lovable, then we can see here, it's basically taking what I wrote to it. It's starting to think and understand what it needs to do, how it works, and it will start to get through all the stuff that it needs to do. So one of the things, of course, that it needs to do is go to the n8n and search the workflows in order to find, just like we did in Claude. So we're going to do here, we can do here allow, or if we click on this nice little button, then we can do allow or decline. And we can go under here and ask each time, and we can set that up to allow always or never allow, and whatever we want it to do. In this case, I'm just going to click allow, and after we click the allow, it's going to go and search and use this tool in order to search our workflows and hopefully find that one workflow that we have connected. After that, it asks for get workflow details. That's the second tool. We click allow also here, and it's going to use this to get all the information about the workflow. And hopefully, if it understood everything that I wanted to do, then the next one would be to execute the workflow. And here it is, execute workflow, and we do allow. And if we go back to our workflow and we go into executions, if everything works right, then we should see it starting to execute. And you can see it's running right now. This run that we see here in the n8n is basically the run that Lovable executed in order to see all the information and understand what's going on there and get all of it. So we are done with the days where we need to give it all the context and give all the information and try to explain to it exactly what we need and what the workflow is doing in n8n and give it all the endpoints and logic and everything. As you saw, I just gave it a very, very simple prompt that says, check my n8n workflow and execute the workflow, get the output, and build a nice, visual, amazing looking dashboard. So it's not even a good prompt or any prompt engineering. And after that, it goes through. It searches the workflows, it gets the workflow details, execute the workflow. We saw that it executed and everything worked fine. And then we have here a message, great, I've successfully executed your YouTube analytics workflow. Now create a stunning visual dashboard to display all the insights. Okay, so now it's working on the dashboard itself. And in a few moments, we're going to see what it does. It might take a few minutes. If it does, then I'll just fast forward this part in the video. And again, it happened to me. I didn't even have to say that, and it's already working and perfect. I have built a stunning YouTube analytics dashboard featuring all the insights from your n8n workflow. And we can see here the key metrics and everything. And here in the middle, we can see already the full system and what it built. And of course, it's not the most beautiful or the most interesting maybe, but we can still see here everything that we have. We can see all the analytics. We can see top performing videos. We can see everything in a nice dashboard. I can also open this on a full screen and open it like this so I can see it. And you can see that we have the elements, we have everything. And this is taking basically everything that we did in this one workflow and building us a dashboard. So just imagine the things that we can do with this connection and with this system. Again, think about a lot of connections that you have, things that you're doing in your business. It's just amazing. And the possibilities with this are endless. This is just one very, very simple example. And as you saw, it took me about 2 minutes. So we can, of course, make it much more comprehensive and much more interesting with a lot of other workflows working together and building us something unique. And this is basically also solving a very, very important part, because in n8n, we're basically building our workflow and our automation, and this is how it looks. And we don't really have a front client-facing opportunity here, or a way for us to take all of this and do something that looks visually much better. But now with the connection with Lovable and others, we can do that quite easily, just like you saw, with a few clicks, a few settings, and we are done. And we have a front that we can later on show our clients or our users, whatever it is, and we have everything available here. And I think that's super amazing. So that's about the MCP ready in our instance. And what does that mean? In the description below, I will put in the link to this announcement in their community, and you can see everything here. You can also see the video and read all about it and go into the depth of this. And we're going to talk today about the second thing, which is super, super exciting, which is n8n version 2.0 finally coming very soon to all of us. So in order for us to do this, we're going to go over the information. But before we do that, I didn't introduce myself. So welcome to AI Voices. My name is Ryan. This is my YouTube channel, and you can come here, and you're more than welcome to come and subscribe and look at all the videos that we have. And there will be many, many more videos coming very soon. If you're interested, you can also click here on the link, and you can read the description, or click on the link tree link in order to see more information about me and connect with me on all the social platforms. Or if you really want, and I would appreciate it, you can also buy me a coffee if you like what you're watching, what you're seeing here, and this gives you value, of course. And I do recommend for you guys to subscribe at the moment. Very soon, I'm also working on a notebook LM that will basically take all of this information and give us a short video about what we need to do, how to prepare our account, and what this new version means. So that will come very, very soon, in a few hours or in the next day after you see this video. So I highly recommend to come here, subscribe, and then you have everything. Okay, so what does this announcement mean for all of us? So first of all, n8n is moving from 1.0, that was back in July 23, more than 2 years ago, and now going into version 2.0. So the first thing to know is when. The version 2.0 in beta will be released on the 8th of December, so in a few days, and the stable one will be released around the 15th. Now, this is what they're planning. Of course, there might be some kind of changes a little bit, but in general, we have about a week or two to get everything ready and get the update. They did say that they will still support and help with the first version for at least another 3 months. So you do have time. You don't have to do all this right away, but it is something that is recommended because there's a lot of very good changes. And we can see here some of it in the announcement itself. So one of the things, and yes, this is sounds funny, but it's one of the most exciting things that we all been waiting for. And this is the autosave option. So finally, we will have an autosave option, which means that if we're in our workflow, we have here the save option. Now, if I will do any kind of change, just for the example, I'm adding something, then you can see right now I need to save. And what would happen to a lot of us that build workflows here is that for some reason, either you forget to click save, you went a second away, or your computer broke down, or anything restarted, or anything like that, all your work would go away. And until now, we always had to click on this button and save the workflow. Well, not anymore. Now we will have autosave. And this is a great new thing. In addition to that, they're talking about improved canvas look and feel. So they're talking about this whole part. And it's talking about updated sidebar. So the whole menu and the sidebar over here will be different. And better looking probably, and a better UI. And we have a few other surprises that they don't mention really what they want to surprise us, but it's coming soon. So this will be very interesting. And we have here a little bit of information about the breaking changes. And as you can see here, there's a link to a new document that you can read about all these changes. But as I mentioned, in a few hours, you will see a Notebook LM video here on my YouTube channel. So you can see all that information and just see it in a short video that will explain all these breaking changes. But in general, these changes are talking about better settings, more security, and more fluidity in our processes, in our workflows, which is amazing. And these changes are probably going to take all of n8n just another step up from where it is right now. As you can see, also, if you have a self-hosted n8n, this is still relevant. You will get the v2 update. So you also need to get ready as well over there. And of course, you can see here, there's a lot of talking about it. People are excited and everything. So you can check out. And of course, there will be a link in the description below to this article, and you can read it all about it right away. So what do we need to do, and why is this even something that we need to talk about in this video? We need to set up our account, and we need to get our account ready for this procedure or for this update when we decide to update. And basically, we have to do a few things. So first of all, we need to make sure that our version is updated to the latest version. In order to see everything, I'll show you right now. And once we do have it on the latest version, we go back here to the same place where we went to look at the MCP access. So we're looking here at the settings. Okay, I'll just go back so you can see. We go here, 3 dots, settings, and then we go into the settings tab. And here we have a new thing in the menu that's called migration report. So we can click on migration report, and then we will see a report that tells us about our compatibility of our instance of our n8n account to this move into version 2.0. It's a great thing that they added. And basically you can see, for example, in my account, 98 of your 101 workflows are already compatible with version 2.0.0. Review the details below to understand and resolve any compatibility problems. Learn more about all breaking changes in our documentation. So basically we can see here that if you have any workflow issues, they will be listed here. And if you have any instance issues, then they will be listed here. And under, next to each issue, you will see a level. If it's low, like we have here, for example, low, or if it's medium, like here, or probably high. I don't have high in mind, but maybe a high one. And you will have a note about what the issue is and what you need to resolve. You will have documentation. And another thing is that we can click here on this 3 workflows. In my case, I have 3 workflows at the moment that have this issue. That's waiting node behavior change in sub workflows. And if I click on 3 workflows, I can click on it. I can go and see which workflows is it talking about and what's the problem. And I can see, are these even relevant? Okay. So you can see that out of the 3, I have 2 that are deactivated, and maybe I don't really need them. I will need to check. And I have one that's active. That's of course more important to understand what needs to be done here, and use that as well. I can see when was the last time it was executed, and I can see the last update that I did to this workflow. So this way I can really understand if it's something that I need, I don't need. Maybe I can just, delete it and throw it away, or maybe I need to take care of it. Now, if I want to go into the workflow itself, then I can just click on the name and it will open up the workflow, as you can see here. Another option that we have is that we can go here where it says node affected, and we can click on each of these places within the workflow that it is affected. So I can click on this one, for example, is a wait node. And once I click on it, it will open the same workflow. Just now, it will open that specific node that I need to handle, and I need to figure out, what's the issue here and what I need to set up differently in order to solve this issue. Okay. So, that way we you can go over each and every node and each workflow that you have and set everything up so it is compatible and ready for the migration. Same thing, we can go in here and we can go into each of the information that we have under the instance issues and read the documentation and understand what it is that we need to do. Of course, if it's slow, then I guess that it wouldn't have a very big effect, or maybe it's not even something that we need to handle. Medium is probably more, and high, or something that's critical, then recommended to take care of it before you do any of the updates. This is in order for nothing to get broken in your workflows, no data to get missed or anything like that. So it is crucial to go over it and see what that is in order for you to remember to see what the story is and what you need to do with your account and set everything up before you upgrade to the version. If you don't do this and you upgrade right away, then probably, or maybe some of your workflows won't work and you're going to have to start troubleshooting and trying to understand why they don't work. So again, highly recommended. And as well, you will see all the information about the breaking changes right in here. And this link, it will be as well in the description below. You get there from the announcement itself and see the 2.0 breaking changes. And that will take you right away into this whole, article. And you can read all the changes, or you can just watch, for the next video that I'm going to do, with all these changes. Now, once we did all of this and we have everything set up and we did all our issues and we settled everything down, then we're ready for the migration. And then on the 8th, in about a week, or on the 15th, if you're waiting for the stable, we can do the upgrade and we are ready to go. So I hope this gives you a little bit of information about how to deal with it and what to do with it. One recommendation that I can tell you as well, and how I started dealing with, I had other issues as well. And the best way I think is to use AI. So you can use any LLM. In this case, I'm using ChatGPT. And what I did is I just took all of the breaking changes. I copied everything into ChatGPT and I gave it a screenshot, and I told it there is a new version for n8n 2.0 now, and there is some things that I need to do. Here is what they published. So I gave it the whole announcement, everything. And then at the end, very simple prompt. When I go into my settings and click on migration report, I see this now. Can you help me understand what it needs to do, to prepare my n8n for this update? And then it went through and it gave me some information and some steps that I need to do. And me personally, I like to do everything very carefully and step by step. So I like to use AI that helps me to go over it and make sure that I'm not missing anything. So it asked me a few questions, and then I said to it, okay, let's go one step at a time. Tell me what to do. I will do it, and then we will continue to the next step. And then it starts. So we are starting with step number 1 that I already did. It was file access restrictions on one specific workflow. So I went in, I settled it up, and then I updated here, and I saw that that issue was resolved. And that way I can move on to the next issue and the next issue, and the LLM, ChatGPT, or any other can help you solve these issues quite simple and easy, and take it from there. And get ready for this movement. So I hope this gives you a little bit of more clear information about what's coming, what we need to do with this version. And if you have any questions, or if you have any comments, please feel free to leave them below, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.